feel like a tinker right now.
Welcome to the Zero Symbol podcast.
Get over there.
We're chilling with our homeboy Pedro,
Hello.
and we have Cisco here. And we're kind of nervous, but we're gonna do this. We're doing it live. Let me make sure everything's cool. Copacetic. What's that word? Copacetic? Yeah, we're live, huh?
I think so.
Cool. All right. So, the topic today is that we're just going to talk bullshit. Unfiltered, flagrant bullshit. We're going to talk shit about our leaders, our politicians, and, but we're going to try to give you some educational information as well. So, what do you think?
About what?
Just about New Mexico.
Hello, New Mexico.
Where are you from?
Venezuela, man.
Well, we got Venezuela here. Venezuela representing.
Yes. Born in Venezuela, and I came here out of nowhere, to be honest. That's crazy, man. That's so fucking random.
Yeah, dude.
From Venezuela to New Mexico.
That is pretty random.
Yeah. Of all places. I could have gone to Montana, I could have gone to New York, Florida, New Mexico, or the Sierra Crest. All the mushrooms.
Can you let everyone know exactly what made you come from Venezuela to New Mexico?
A scholarship.
Well, what made you exactly get the scholarship? How did you come about the scholarship?
I actually was able to get very high school grades, and I have family here in New Mexico that were actually able to recommend me to UNM.
Okay.
And I was able to actually get free education.
All right. So they pretty much set you up. You kind of knew where to go, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What'd you study? What'd you study? What was your major?
Political science and international studies.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it's not a very useless degrees.
It's useless or useful? It's useless, huh?
It can be useful,
I think it's useless as fuck, man. Mine was just shitty, bro. I was like, bro, I could learn Russian on Duolingo.
It's not like if you want to try for political science, you have to be super into it.
Yeah.
It's not like with engineering, where you can actually have you get a diploma and
Yeah, because engineering students, I know, they're just on it, bro. They're on a whole different tangent, man. Their whole way of thinking is up there, man. And y'all are distinct. No wonder they call it liberal arts.
I'll tell you that I know engineers who actually quitted their entry level job to later become just a bartender. That shit happens a lot.
Yeah.
I actually know a guy who worked in downtown, and it's fuck this entry engineering job. You would think it pays good money, but I don't know what happened. And boom, he preferred to be a bartender here in Albuquerque.
Get paid.
And he appears as an extra in what is it called? As an extra in Stranger Things.
Oh.
Yeah. What's his name?
Fuck me, I don't remember his name.
Would it be Howard?
He has a mullet hair in the Red Door Brewing Company at downtown.
Whoa, okay.
Yes.
Red Door Brewing is pretty cool.
Super chill. I love that place.
Yeah.
The back entrance,
The brewery's
beautiful.
Our brewery is pretty cool.
The Black Hawk.
Shout out to the Black Hawk.
Very interesting name.
Dude, you need to check it out, man. It's pretty cool. They have really good selections.
Yeah. And I recommend him because it's what is it? I recommend him because you don't hear that a lot. Engineers quitting to later become bartenders.
Yeah.
That's so weird to see. Because you become an engineer, you go top. You try to work with the big companies. No, there are actually people who are quitting that shit.
Well, wait a second. Hold on. Is that unheard of elsewhere? Because that's kind of a normal thing here. Like
Yeah.
you hear that a lot.
Are you talking about the Great Resignation? Are we
Yes.
talking about the Great Resignation?
No, he's probably talking about
And
general,
we don't
like
talk that about enough, you know?
the job market just being oversaturated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Turns out there's actually also a lot of engineers out there, you know?
Yeah.
And now they want to make it like tougher for like green card visas and students exchange,
Yeah.
you know, in order to like, you know, protect like the American workers, which I understand, you know.
I mean, I honestly, in my opinion, I don't think immigration resources or like naturalization resources take away from the American people. Nor do I think the policy of stopping those policies advantaging the American people. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just feel like neither are working because like it seems like everyone's kind of just fucked.
Yeah.
You know, like inflation's fucking high.
Yeah.
People are just not buying anything. I mean, like people are buying stuff, you know, but at what cost, you know? I myself just think like crypto would be the answer.
They're trying to regulate it. I do appreciate it, but I don't like the dips because of it.
Yeah.
But it'll be stronger than ever because of it as well.
People a lot of times call like cryptcoin, you know, cryptocurrency like bullshit, you know?
Mhm.
But when you think about it, also our money is kind of bullshit, you know?
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Dolce Gabbana and all that.
Yeah.
Like
Currencies.
fractional banking, you know?
Yeah.
Like how they like create like easily
I
like.
don't know why I say Dolce
Compounding
Gabbana.
interest is
Yes,
ridiculous.
I love that shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like. Do you? Who's y'all's like investors? Like, who do y'all listen to? Like, obviously we all have a following, you know.
I don't have any specific name investors, but I do read around a lot. I don't have a specific person to listen to. But I mean, I don't personally know these people,
Mhm.
and they don't know me, so I can't really trust them to do personal
Yeah.
choices.
Do you know? Would there be any websites or like that you would recommend? You know, for people.
As of the moment, no. I do look around everywhere. The rumors, the news,
Yeah.
whatever you can think of, the sites, the following.
Like the typical, right? Like the coin market caps, like typical. Because like if you open up your app, it typically gives you the basic information enough that you need to kind of make decisions. You know, not always. I think they've gotten better. Like Coinbase, they have like news stuff now. I don't know if you've seen it, but like KuCoin's whack. But that's a whole different conversation. But I like it. What do y'all think? What do you?
I was just thinking that the more you realize that all of this is bullshit, the easier it becomes to make it work in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't care if Bitcoin, even though I don't think so. Some people say that it's a Ponzi scheme, a scam, and even then I would be like, dude, almost everything is, you know, like it's just kind of how it functions, you know.
The phrase designed obsolescence, when you kind of like figure out that maybe not everything is designed to break down, but everything is designed to compete with another thing, right? And you know, price is always a thing. Like you always have to worry about what's cheapest, what's the bang for your buck. You're always worried about these little things, and sometimes the more valuable, more durable items are worth a lot of money that you don't want to pay for up front.
Yeah.
So you pay for the cheap stuff, which breaks down in 3 years, 2 years. So you pay for it 5, 6, 7 times in the span of 15 years.
Mhm.
What about the first appliance, the expensive one in the first place? You would have never bought those multiple appliances afterwards if you just spent that extra bit of money. But like we have this competitive market, so we have 5 different companies making this one appliance. So now you have this cheapest of the cheapest, and the one expensive thing that no one's buying except for the rich people, and all this shit's getting thrown away just to compete with mid-level markets. It's like it's not even worth it. You're just disposing of all this shit that you could have made one good item with, and not worry about the rest, just to make a little bit of margins of profit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you think shit is gonna go down? Like,
Inflation's going up, so everything's already gone down.
I mean, like shit's gonna go down in the sense that like China, Russia, U.S., conflict in Africa, border wars in Central America. Like,
World War III.
do you think World War III is gonna happen?
if you're super pessimistic, then yeah, sure,
Yeah.
because we had two last century.
That's true, huh? That's true. And that's why we number things, because there's
Like just
more
think
than
of
one.
just thinking about, it's like you live in a house and then there's like other two houses, and if you know that the murder happened in those two houses, it will kind of freak you out,
Yeah.
It just happened 2 centuries ago, man. Like,
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
we're
honestly
barely in
think
our 20s,
Yeah.
This is the 20s, This is like the slappies, blah, 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 prohibition era, all that shit,
Yeah, it's like the 1920s all over again.
Yes.
Except for weed.
Yes. And right now, bro, we're in the forgotten generation.
We're in the metaverse generation, bro. We're the meta generation.
We're the primordial ooze of the fucking century. We're just making everything form up.
And we own crypto. And we fucking own crypto. We don't know home, but we own crypto. I'm all for that, man. I'm all for it.
We own the metal and we don't own real. Damn.
Damn it. Yeah, New Mexico's fucked, man. I think New Mexico is either gonna be like someday just a border war battle state, if like shit continues with like the cartel, the ineptness of the U.S. government, like.
Depends on what side you're involved
with. Yeah, I mean, like I like drugs. I'm for drugs, I believe in drug reform, but that doesn't mean I'm for the violence that comes with it,
I mean, do you think like maybe like 50 years from now, maybe the cartels will have actually like reach Albuquerque?
I think they've already had.
I don't think they have yet.
I think what we're trying to say is like the degrees and the levels of how they infiltrate the city. Like if they have, because they're present. Albuquerque is full of meth, fentanyl, all that shit.
Oh yeah.
But I think like in the sense that are people displaced because of the conflict that the cartel brings? Not yet. I personally think not yet. Like that's just my personal perspective.
That's like an economic control, which is a strong form of control. I'm talking like we have cartel soldiers out in the streets, like this is very common in some cities in Mexico, which
I guess that there's a different conversation because you're thinking about like presence between like complete occupation.
Yeah.
I think we are occupied in smaller towns.
Mm.
For sure, they are definitely not doing anything. It's the police forces are definitely getting away with a lot more than they should be. They're working both sides, obviously. It's blatant. Can't call them out, but
yeah, dude, let's call them out. Let's call out all the mayors, all the governors. No, I'm just kidding, dude. But have you heard of that? But to go along with that, like, have you heard of the redistricting maps that they're trying to do in New Mexico? Like, the tribal leaders bounce, bro. Like, they're like, no, this sucks, man. Like, they're like, no. Like, they're trying to split, like a lot of counties. And the ones that they're trying to split, obviously, are for, like, I guess, so that they don't have enough influence, when it comes to
voting.
Yeah. Or like even veto power and all that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Like even the tribal leaders were like, nah, fuck this. I was like, cool. I'm for that shit, dude. Like, fuck that, man. I don't, dude, like the maps are whack, bro. Like, but at the same time, Ukraine did the same thing. Russia, Russia's like Crimea is ours. But that's what I was trying to say is that like, I feel like they're gonna like go to conflict eventually. And then like, because Russia is fighting with NATO, there's going to be a lot more like drugs flowing because we're going to be focused on the war. And cartels are like, fuck it, like.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, there's a good example of the Yakuza in Japan. When they first got into the major cities and major corruption to the higher ups, like we thought it would never be possible, right? And the U.S. had happened in the 30s. Like, let's leave that there. It happened in the U.S. already. But when Yakuza did it, they crystallized their form. Like they made it to the point where they could work synonymously with the government. They were okay with it. They let them do their thing at one point. Like for the last, I think 70 years, they've just been cool. No actual open conflicts. Maybe in a few outbreaks, but like for the most part, they've just kept it together. Like
yeah, gotcha.
You don't hear about Yakuza fucking shootouts anymore, dude. Like you heard it slightly in the 70s and 80s. maybe in the 90s. Other than that,
And that's because it was like sexy, right? Like,
yeah. Other than that, you never heard of it. But they've been around for fucking 600, 700, 800 years, 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Jesus, bro, like,
Yeah.
they have never been stomped out.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Like the Yakuza or the samurai?
Yakuza?
That's an easy one.
Samurai's got honor. Yakuza, everyone had them.
The samurais were also bad bitches, man. They used guns.
They
They like, you know, like a lot of people, like in the last samurai, they say like, oh, the samurai, they refuse to fight with the knives, you know, with the guns, you know, because they're so honorable. No, man, the samurais were using guns. The Portuguese arrived, they gave them some guns for some tea, and the Portuguese fucked it up for them somehow because they gave them guns. Because then it led to like Oda Nobunaga, who was like the yes,
the
Oda
badass.
yes.
The motherfucking badass.
What is it? Who?
Japan's
Oda
like iconic fucking samurai leader, dude.
Okay.
Because he was like I would say like yes, he was like the big like conqueror, you know, like he unified Japan.
The first
Yes.
unifier.
Yeah.
Yes, you know.
That's
Yes.
kudos, man. That's
Yeah.
kudos.
You know,
I respect that shit.
yes, because he was able to maintain that shit for like 300 years,
Yeah.
you know. They isolated the whole country, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
They
You know?
reformed, dude. They got all their shit together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Japan like even kicked Russia's ass in the Russo-Japanese war.
They didn't expect it.
They were like, oh fuck, Japan.
They're still around, by the way. Yeah, they're a legit clan.
Theoretically, dude, Japan should exist.
Yeah.
Japan should have been China.
Yeah,
Japan.
Yeah.
It should not exist.
Japan is the Australia of China.
No, dude.
No, Australia is the Japan of the Southern Hemisphere.
I gotta
No, Australia is the wait. Australia is also kind of like the Japan of China, man. China.
Controversial. Japan is the Germany of Europe.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Japan did some fucked up shit, dude.
Yes.
You're crazy, dude.
Like, they were never invaded by the Chinese, you know, but they invaded.
They tried.
They tried. They
Yeah.
invaded Korea.
Dude, like also like Japan, dude, like military speaking, they took so much, right? They took like China, parts of China, like Mongolia, kind of, and like what I'm thinking though about like the Japanese is that like they were the first suicide bombers. Like no one refers to like suicide bombers is always referred to a religion that I'm not gonna say it, you know. But but yeah, you know what I'm saying? The originals are the fucking kamikazes.
I mean, I think it still goes further than that because, like,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
had like
Persians.
it's not even religious. It's a cultural thing. Like, you have to die for your honor. You have to die. Like, you have to die at war. If you die at war, it's even more honorable
Would you
than
die for
just
Spain?
dying at all. Like,
Yes.
Would you die for France?
I don't know yet. I'm not French. So
Yo, I've had
I'm not French yet.
I've had a croissant. I've had escargot.
I've had a baguette in a while. That reminds me.
Oh man. Should we do like sponsors or anything?
Give me a FAMAS and I'll die for friends.
I'm gonna do a quick sponsor. It's gonna be fucked up.
You ever watch like Casa de Papel? Casa de Papel?
I haven't yet, no.
What is it?
The Spanish
Casa de
fucking.
Papel. I don't have Netflix. Yeah. I need to
Dude,
get
you're a pagan, man.
Huh?
You're a pagan.
pagan.
Yeah, for not having Netflix.
Don't insult me.
Oh, what does that mean? What is that supposed to mean? It's your Spaniard, huh?
I'm just role
It's in
playing
your
at this
blood,
point.
huh? It's your blood, huh? It's your blood. Shoot.
Like the French.
Have you noticed you're under my roof?
I know. I'm trying to get you to
You
kick
just come
me
into
out.
my land.
I know, man. I love your land, man. I love
too,
it.
man.
I love it. It just feels so chill here in Roswell. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I can do whatever.
I like Roswell, man. I have no pro with Roswell.
There's a lot of problems with it, but not enough to really make you hate it.
What are the problems? Call them out.
At least the drugs, the alcohol, the drunk driving, the terrible
Drugs.
relationship problems, domestic abuse,
Oh shit.
City Hall, the gentrification.
New York City?
No, here.
Oh.
Yeah, it sounds like New York City.
For real, huh? Nah, dude, I get you, man. Roswell has. Well, look, since this is the Zia Symbol podcast, and like we're obviously like located in Roswell, is where we're doing our work. So we're impacted by all kinds of weird shit. You know, we're a cosmic city. I mean, we're a cosmic state, man. Like this state,
Yeah.
like came from the stars, like for reals. Like it's connected, man. Alamogordo, all that shit, like it's everywhere. It's connected. So I think Roswell just has a weird spot in that, you know, like we should have a crater, you know, named after us.
Roswell, New Mexico crater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We did, what was it? We did it, but New Mexico definitely did a lot of cosmic, celestial type of work, from nuclear bomb to crash landings to actual exploration. Like, they've done it all. Like, the only thing they haven't done is, have they launched spaceships? Yeah.
New Mexico?
They haven't they?
Like, I don't know, man, to be honest. Do you know?
What?
Quick question, though. Would y'all go to space?
I could. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
I would.
Yeah, me too.
If I have the money.
I mean, listen, right now it's like it's gonna happen that you'll be able to like go to space from like one side to the other for like $10. It's gonna happen someday.
Not in our lifetime.
That's gonna happen, you know?
Like 1,000 years from now.
Yeah. Assuming that we don't die by climate change.
Supposedly, they recently figured out a wormhole. They just CERN and NASA discovered an accidental wormhole.
Have a joke. What since a Republican doesn't believe in climate change, how do they die in a natural disaster? How do Republicans die in a natural disaster if they don't believe in climate change?
Tell that to Kentucky.
It's just a tornado. Just call it a tornado. No, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh man. We're super spaced out, by the way.
It's all good, man. You're live in front of millions of people.
Fuck. How many viewers so far?
7,000.
7,000.
Yeah.
So this is how I become famous.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man. Shout out your credentials. Where can people find you? Shout it out, dude. Girls. What? Like it's like minimum like decent views on YouTube. It's not bad. People will find you. Maybe AOC. She's my follower. You know? She's our follower.
She's very beautiful. Fuck.
Genghis Khan is our follower. Boy. Like that's the thing is that like I think I heard this on a Joe Rogan podcast. Is that I think we talked about it. Is that like back in the present, history shapes the people, and like back in the day, like you know, like in Genghis Khan, you know, and all that, they shaped history, bro. They were like, nah, we're gonna go.
They forcefully shaped history.
I mean,
Yeah.
we still talk about people from like 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, Alexander the Great, for example.
Yeah.
He worked tooth and nail to be able to be remembered. Naming like 50 cities after him, man. He was so desperate to be remembered.
That's I don't know if that sucks, but that's crazy, man.
Yes, you know.
Napoleon, like
Yeah.
he was just like always. He was kind of like France was bullied, man. They're cornered, and he just lashed out. He was just like, fuck it. And he came back twice, right, from being exiled.
The thing is, dude, he didn't do it out of hate. He didn't do it out of spite.
I don't think so.
He straight up did it out of love for France.
Yeah.
Like that motherfucker, dude, they
Viva la
dog him, but he did it out of straight fucking pride
dude
for his
yeah,
country. And every
For
war
reals.
he started
I agree, man.
was legal.
He was dope, bro.
He never did an illegal invasion. He literally did everything by the book, by the UN standards. But when he did it right and he declared the war officially against Russia, that's when he fought back.
Listen, you know, like,
You got him riled up, bro. We love
You know what?
Napoleon, dude. We're pro Napoleon, dude.
and you know part of the reason why he lost? Because of Spain. No, for real.
Oh.
Because people talk so much about, oh my god, you know, it was the Russian, the snow and everything. Okay, but you know who was actually corrupting the resources? with the Spaniards because they were going to
Dude,
rage up
let's face it, bro.
warfare.
Spain,
They refused to be like,
let's face
fuck
it.
you.
Spain just picks at the loser at the
Spain
end.
didn't want to get involved.
Yeah, they're like,
All of a sudden, they're like,
dude,
Spain is like,
bro,
well,
it's so shameful. Spain is so shameful. Greece did more than you on the Second World War. Switzerland did more.
Oh. Come on.
oh,
Bro,
come on.
Switzerland is
Oh,
so.
sorry, man. That's a low blow. Sorry, bro.
No,
I take that back.
no. Kudos to Switzerland. Kudos to Switzerland that they were able to become rich with fucking Nazi gold. People are always like, oh, yes, everything, that they have, which I respect. They are super pragmatists in there. They saw World War II and they were like, oh shit, we could make money out of this. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle because they do that out of love of their own people.
Yeah.
Like those guys are band together.
Dude.
Fuck you.
Dude, Napoleon, man. Pro-Napoleon. I'm all for that.
Napoleon didn't fuck with Switzerland. That yeah.
But he still lost to Russia. And I'm like,
Everybody
I always
lost
laugh
to
at
Russia.
that.
Everybody
Lost
lost
to
to Russia.
nature.
Man.
I know. Russia is just like, I'm gonna do my thing.
Watch this real quick.
I know.
It gets cold. We're about to get tornadoes, bro.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna get like,
nature. We're gonna get tornadoes, dude.
but you're going to Spain, so you just get like, what do you have in Spain? What's wrong in Spain? What's wrong in Spain?
What's wrong with Spain right now? Or
Yeah, like I know you're prideful about Spain, but you gotta say something wrong about it.
oh yeah, like every other country in the world, Yeah, it's like
But Spain's perfect.
What do you hate about Spain?
something I hate about Spain. A lot of people are not very welcome with Latin Americans. That's for something. I don't like how a lot of times they don't. How do I say so?
Dude, they think they're the hierarchy of like all the Spanish speakers. Like, they don't like when you say mande, because like that's the word of like, from back in the day, like mandame. Like we're like, people from Mexico would be like mandame, And so like, yeah, I don't know, man, like, it's a generalization, but when I went to Spain and like stayed in Spain, like, I feel like they just kind of consider themselves kind of high. Especially like I noticed a lot of like people from Central America in Spain just hustling, man, doing the thing, and like I kind of get that stigma for sure, like I don't know what you're trying to say, but I felt kind of weird with them too. I was like, no wonder you're fucking colonizers. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I
Like
was
my father could tell you a lot more. Like a lot like the bureaucracy, a lot like the red tape. Also, like, even though he's like Spanish by blood, just because of the accent, it's like, it reveals an out, like, oh, you're not from here, and they treat you different because of that, which is tough, and, what was I going to say about that? It's like, and I know that if I go to Spain, I'm going to struggle a bit. I know that. I'm realistic.
Where's your dad from? Which part of Spain?
He was born in Venezuela too.
Okay.
It's because of my grandparents and my grandmother.
Where were they?
was
Were they
Spanish.
from Madrid or?
Huh?
Which city were they from?
My grandfather from Andalusia, my grandmother from Madrid.
Wow.
And they actually met in Toulouse.
Wow.
They met in Toulouse, they got married, and then they went to Venezuela. Because back then Venezuela was the United States for Southern Europeans and Germans.
Yeah, for sure.
Like after World War II, everybody was fought. There was fascism. Germany was destroyed. Like, okay, those who were pragmatists at the moment.
Go to Argentina.
Go to Argentina, go to Colombia, So, you have all like these 50, 60 generations, like Europeans actually influenced in Latin America,
Nice. We got a follower. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
No, did you know in Venezuela there's like fucking German colonies? I've been there.
Oh yeah.
The Colonia Tovar, you can go there, drink German beer, eat like German apple pie and shit, That's like German. And they're so isolated. They don't give a fuck what's going on around in Venezuela.
Yeah.
That was like the most common place in Venezuela.
Because they have their own colony, like they're just.
Yeah, they all know each other, Like architecture is so different.
Yeah. Bro, like, if you know how like the metaverse is gonna like kind of
take over.
take over.
Mhm.
Like I personally would like to experience like a historical event like back in the day and recreate it myself, kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know, because like I feel like whenever they do create these scenarios, they're going to be kind of biased about it. But I feel like the gaming community definitely not. Like I feel like the gaming community, like with history and all that shit, they're pretty good. Like I like that stuff. You know, I would like to like, you know, like have a bird's eye view of like what happened.
Normandy, dude.
Normandy would be
I would love
crazy.
to see
You wouldn't be able to see because of the clouds. You'd be all fuck.
I mean, I'm sure you could get a bird's eye view,
Yeah.
not like super high
Yeah,
up.
that'd be cool, man. Just all kind of, like a fleet of people just.
I just want to see how a bunker gets taken, man. Like something that's almost unfucking like takeable.
Yeah.
Just
Like
how-
it's a
force through that, man. How?
yeah. It's never before seen like kind of thing. Stalingrad, bro. That was like I think like New Mexico, we also have battles, you know, like. But like over there, it's crazy, man. Like millions die. Like over here, it's like 32, 32 dead, and over there, it's like a million.
In a day.
Yeah. I'm glad to live in New Mexico. I could have easily been one of the freaking Ukrainian soccer players that beat Germany during the World War II.
It's fucking killed.
And they get executed. Yeah. Shout out to them, man. Like shout out to them. They're real heroes. I think they beat them like 5-2.
Just because they were better.
Yeah, they're better. They're probably starving. Yeah, nothing,
Carrot. Stick.
yeah, that's nothing else, dude.
That's terrible, man.
What we're talking about?
We're talking about everything, man.
I know.
Who do you want to give a shout out to, Pedro?
Let's shout out to Daniel. He's right now at what's it called? Right now in Albuquerque. He's probably working right now. He's an absolute dog hustler. You know?
Yeah, shout out to Daniel. He's a homie. We don't want to lose you in the metaverse, boy. We love you.
Fuck the metaverse, man.
Bro, Jesus. We're still gonna keep going though. We're still going.
You think there's be a war between the metaverse and the real world? The real verse?
I don't think it's even going to be a war. It's going to be a slaughterhouse.
What if all the hackers take over all the smart cards that everyone's trying?
You know? We're going to have World War III, then there's going to be like the whole metaverse and shit, you know?
True.
It's crazy, man. I don't know, man. It's like money follows the war, you know, nowadays. You know, it's like a lot of people are actually going to definitely get into it.
I'm just gonna end it on my phone because I got like nothing. That's so funny.
Sorry. But what I'm saying is that it's unavoidable. Metaverse is